Welcome back to State of the Nation. Right behind me, data feeds still coming through. Live on all our social media platforms. You can go on to that. Log on to channelstv.com and youtube.com/channels12. You can also be part of the show. Of course, you can tweet at Gimbo Omar CTV and use the hashtag State of the Nation. I still have with me here the Professor Chris Nwokobia, a social commentator, as Michael Johnny joins me from our Abuja studio. Of course, he is the chairman at Bema Baramatu Development Foundation. Well, thank you so much indeed. Let me start with Professor here in the studio still. The biggest challenge yet is getting the Niger Delta Avengers to sit and dialogue with the government. What is the problem?
No, I think that oftentimes when we discuss these issues, people remove from the realities of now. Some people are fanning the embers of crisis and conflict. And interestingly, our former president did talk about stakeholders prevailing on them to maintain and keep the peace. I believe that whether we like it or not, what we need in this country is peace. Whether we like it or not, it is better to Georgia than to war. And fundamentally, what we cannot remove is a need for this great country. I don't know whether, Gimba, whether you're aware of the fact that everywhere you go to in the world, if you meet 6 blacks, at least one of them is a Nigerian. Our size is our blessing. Our wealth is our blessedness. And whether we like it or not, the fact that God has given us strength and resilience is manifest munificence. And I believe that the way to go as we discuss this country is to begin to tell our leadership and indeed the people that we can sustain a united Nigeria. But I do sincerely believe that the time has come for us to discuss the terms of our collective existence. Because you can't force unity on the people. You can negotiate and discuss the terms of your collective existence. And I believe that if we do so, the vestiges of conflict and crisis will etiolate. If we do so, faith and confidence in the enterprise will improve and increase. If we do so, the masses of our people will coalesce into a huge, strong, united republic where the green, white, green becomes a collective pride rather than worry.
I like the way you just put that. Let's talk to Johnny in Abuja. Johnny Michaels, let me ask you this. You are from that region predominantly. What will it take to get the militants to dialogue with the government? As you know, in Arepo area in Ogun State, the government forces are already bombarding the militants there. A situation like that is what the government doesn't want in the Niger Delta. What will it take to get the militants to dialogue with the government?
That is what some of us are trying to avoid. For the time we are advising those guys to lay down their sword to embrace the dialogue, to avoid bringing loss of life and properties in our own dear community. But I think at this point in time, politics has involved in the whole issues now. Politics has involved because people have already seen the Niger Delta struggle and the present situation as a way of making money, as a way where they can get in touch with the federal government for contracts and appointments. You see the last meeting held in Warri by the elders of the Ijaw ethnic nationality, so that the elders must be part of the negotiation team. They categorically even stated that the Avengers are their sons. When people started seeing all those kind of things in that Niger Delta region, you will now see that even some of the elders are now patronizing criminality, encouraging criminality in that Niger Delta area, region. So it has become a business. So what will you tell all those people before they will stop? Things they have already seen as a business, something that the elders, people who call themselves elders, people who are above 80-something years, have seen it as a business. When those guys were bombing the whole of this country, until the present situation of this economic now, no elder from the Niger Delta region that has called those people or come out potentially to condemn that what these guys are doing is wrong. Because they have seen that that is another part of where they can get amnesty part 2. That is what all of them are trying to do. Everybody is trying to claim relevancy in this whole thing. People are trying to get ship recognition.
So then,
the former president,
what should the government? What should the present government do in question? What should the present government do in their attempt to negotiate with the Niger Delta militants? You said that the elders are taking sides already, trying to make a change out of it. What should the government focus on?
The only thing that I believe the government can do, the government should liaise to the communities directly. You can reach them through the community leaders. You can reach them through the elders. Talk to the community directly. Let the communities be in charge of whatever thing that is in that area. Since the so-called people has failed this country, has failed to discuss, has failed to negotiate with the opportunities the federal government has given them, then reach out to the community leader directly. You know how to reach with them. Not those the same people who has failed this country before. Not those people who has caused this country damage before. The same people who are moving to Abuja, going to everywhere, they are the people who are sponsoring those so-called vengeance. They are the people who are part of it. They are the people who are backing them. And the same people coming to Abuja to meet with the president, they are the same people who are going to the NSS office, going to all the security agencies.
Let me put you on hold. Let me put you on hold for a minute or two and come back to the studio. My apologies. Let me just put you on hold for just a minute and talk to Dr. Chris, Professor Chris. What do you suppose the government can do to stop this continuing imbalances in government, in the agitation, in the quest in this nation?
3 things can be done. First, as you continue with dialogue, reach out to the youths through proactive engagement. Show them and convince them that government is interested in their welfare and well-being. The UNEP cleaning process in Ogoniland is a case in point. Sell it to the people and make them understand that this government is ready to outperform previous governments. That's point number 1. Point number 2, turn that site, turn the Niger Delta into a huge construction site where mothers and fathers will see the presence of the federal government and tell their sons and daughters to keep the peace, because more than ever before they see the presence of government in that territory. And then the third one, which is very important, is as you engage the leaders, engage the intelligentsia and the intellectuals, and beyond that, begin to show some strong sense of inclusiveness in governmental protocols. I believe that the reason Nigerians are talking about the need for restructuring is because they want to belong together. They want to understand that every Nigerian, irrespective of creed or clan, irrespective of tendencies or region, belongs together and is treated as first-class citizens. Every Nigerian must be treated equally, justly and fairly. Once that is done, we can move away from the vestiges of conflict and crisis everywhere to the amazing place of promise.
Professor Chris, when we come back, I'll be asking you directly what you feel about statements or sentiments being shared in some quarters that the NDDC is a failed project. You're watching State of the Nation. We have some messages, after which we'll be back. Stay with us.